Tim Farrell. Amy Moscartolo.
Hello.
Fern Smith.
Here.
Jean Wall.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Roll has been called.
Fernando just joined him.
Yep.
And we have our minutes from the May 5th meeting. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Any
Sorry,
changes?
sorry, who was the second?
Me.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Oh, Mayor.
Mayor.
Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay.
I record I abstained.
I have to say, because I wasn't here, so.
Update.
Sorry, 2 abstain?
Yep,
Three.
Great.
3.
Abstention row here.
Great. Thank you.
Give me
I
more
got
than
2
10.
and missed the third one.
Update from Phil.
Take one, pass them
Take
around.
one, pass it down. Things are, I can't believe you're going first. You don't even show up all the time, just saying.
Oh, my.
Whoa, a little dissension on.
Oh, we had a long
How's this
night.
project going, guys?
We had a long night last night.
Oh.
Things are going swimmingly, and that's the relationship I have with Dan. I'm
So
talking about
that's
there.
you think the one is-
At your library, I think things are going great, and Dan is going to give you a little bit more information on this. He's got more up to date. I can tell you what I saw when I was there on Tuesday, and what I saw when I drove by just now. They're moving right along.
They don't need it.
As you may know, the fire protection system was being installed probably last time we talked. And that is essentially done at this point. They even got all the heads and everything in, and they just tie wrap them up to the pipe, and they'll just disappear now for the most part until the ceilings come in months and months from now, and they'll come back and drop them all down into the ceiling. So getting in first means that everybody else has to work around them, but the system does need to drain, and so it makes sense. They don't really want to go up and down and jump around over piping and ductwork and so forth. The plumbers have been there almost as long. The plumber's gonna start with the big stuff, which is the drains and the vents, the heavier lines. And then they'll come back in later with the domestic hot and cold water system, the smaller pipes that run around inside the building. So they're pretty far along with drains and vents and the storm lines inside that come down from the roof drains. The ductwork has started. A lot of the ductwork is on site and they're beginning to hang that. You'll recall you don't have a ton of ductwork in the building, it's not a air system, so the ductwork is limited for the most part to the fresh air system in the building. And so getting it all coordinated with the piping and everything all looks like it's all gonna work out fine. The electricians have been there and are on site. They've got some of their kind of mains that they're running around, conduit between the first and second floor, that kind of thing. They've started to run some of the conduit for the lightning protection system and so forth. And they won't really start on putting in all the work boxes and everything inside the building until all the interior stud walls go in. The exterior stud walls for the most part are in. They've begun sheathing on the outside. They're doing the blocking around the windows that you'll see when you go by. Now that the sheathing is coming along the front of the conference room and teens area, and then it's turned down along the post office on the east side, running along there. They've started there because they're gonna want the masons to follow them down. So the place is purple now, and then they'll put the air and vapor barrier on the outside, and it will be gray and blue, and then they'll put the insulation on, and it will be pink or yellow, and then the brick will go up. So the building will change colors over the next couple of weeks as the masons move along. They'll put staging up, and then you'll know they're getting serious about putting the brickwork up. Right now, they're working on the elevator shaft, which is concrete. And they have put up the sample panel, and you know, we asked for them to put it up at the front somewhere where you can see it. When they do that, you can kind of see it though. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to take a look at it. If you don't walk onto the site, probably the best way to see it would be down to the lower parking lot at the bank and look in over the wall.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from behind, yeah.
And so it looks just the way we expected it to look, and we're recommending approval of that. We're happy with the brickwork that they did, as well as the construction of the wall behind. I went over that with the mason when they were there. He happened to be there the day that I was there, and as well as details of them, and I'm happy with what they have done. So I think that is probably good to go. They've stocked some of the materials on the roof for insulation and so forth, and once the air and vapor barrier gets done on the roof, then the roofers will come in and start putting on the roof. that's in a nutshell, a lot of work on site as well is going on, and they're filling, right? Probably seeing that the parking lot's coming up to grade. I asked, how long until we could start parking in the parking lot?
Right.
When we come to the meeting, we said next March.
So what is the purple? Part of the insulation?
So right now, that is the sheathing, which is a gypsum product that goes on the outside.
Yeah.
And it's got fiberglass reinforced faces on it, and it's that fiberglass reinforced facing, it's perfect.
I was with somebody last night who's related to somebody sitting at this table, who said that it was because Ed Purple donated a lot, there's such a person, donated a
That
lot.
must have been then, because that was my joke.
Ed Purple donated a lot of money to the
Millions,
library,
millions.
millions to the library, and
But he said, but the building has to be
on the
purple.
contention that it would be purple.
Well, it's gonna be for a little while. I'm glad it's that, and it's not that you have a Prince fan or something.
Probably do have that.
We have lots of prints
Right.
in town.
Well, where is that sample and which space is it?
It is at the back of the existing library right now.
Oh, the back of the
So
building.
if you, if you stand in the children's department and look out the window, you can probably see the top of it. So you have to go around to the rear.
Of
If
the
you
existing
go
one.
in the back stacks of the library, the adult back stacks, and go over to that side, you can see it. Unfortunately, it's facing this way when you're looking at it, so you can't see the face of the brick. But if you stand back at that back fence and kind of walk around, you might be able to see it, but you can see it from inside the building.
Is that area where the beam was for the signing, is it in that area, and can you go out the back doors?
That is now all closed
It is
off
all
and
closed
dug
off.
up. They're putting some drainage pipes in there.
The good news is the real work's a
Yes.
week away, so you'll be able to see the whole
Right.
building.
Ah,
Right.
nice.
If you're pulling to the post office, you'll get a good look at it.
It definitely did exactly what you said it would do, which is when it was all steel, it was gonna look like, oh my God, what the heck have we done? And it just slowly gets to take form.
Proportions begin to,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
makes sense.
Great, I'm
Yeah.
glad we had that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I think that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you. Dan?
So we'll go over budgetary items. We had another great month. Two small changes that were approved related to unsuitable excavation material. The last of the building area and the last of the fill from the building area and the immediate area adjacent to the building. So we may have a little more under the parking lot, but I think we're almost past the unknowns with regard to the site suitability fill, so we're in pretty good shape there. From the change order standpoint, we've got a bunch of small little things, which is normal for a job like this. You know, I think I told you guys, we could expect about 60 to 80 small changes on this job, and, you know, I don't think we've hit 20 yet, so we're in really, really good shape. Financially, a couple of things happened this month, a couple of milestones were hit. First and foremost, we ordered our first pieces of FF&E. We ordered the automated mail sorter, and we ordered the vending machines for the 3 vending machines for the laptops. We're concerned about lead time. We don't care when they come. We'll find a space for them somewhere when they come in. We wanted to get a jump on it because there's a lot of parts and pieces, and we didn't want to have supply chain issues with that. So if you look on your budget under the blue section on page 2, you'll see that committed funds under FF&E has raised $218,032.72. We had great cooperation. Great cooperation from the purchasing department here to get the purchase orders out in a timely manner. And we think we've got our systems set up pretty good for the remainder of FF&E.
She had to go on a 6 weeks vacation after that.
Yeah, but we got what we wanted.
She
so.
goes on a 6-week vacation, I'm gonna be signing her name on the next one. So, don't tell anybody that. But we're in pretty good shape with regard to that. So our known PCO exposure today is $33,397. Leaves our contingency right now at about $1,600,000 and change. So we're budget-wise, we're doing pretty good.
And are the change orders that you're talking about that have come through are the ones that we're seeing on the invoice from DA Sullivan? Do we
So
see that
here,
clear?
this is how it works,
Yeah.
okay, so, it's a great question. So if it's on the actual change order from DA Sullivan, then it's gone through the complete system, and the system is, the change order is requested, the architect reviews it, P3 reviews it. Once we agree with it, the chairman of the committee has to agree with it. If it's over 25,000, the chairman of the committee and the mayor has to do it pursuant to the policy that we
Yep.
wrote at the beginning of the job.
Yep.
Then, when there's, 7 or 8 of them, we do what's called a formal change order, the legal instrument. That legal instrument then goes to the designer, the contractor, and the mayor. Once that's signed, a copy goes down to accounting, and they're authorized then to add it to the list there. So it doesn't get there till that legal instrument is executed. So the ones we talk about as known PCO exposure are ones we've agreed to, but not yet gone through legal change order status. I hope that was clear. Was that clear for everybody?
Yeah, it's now.
So,
And so do we have a list of what these change orders are, or do we?
So the change orders start as a PCO, which is a proposed change order.
Got it.
So the ones that are all in yellow are in change order number 1. If you go to your budget sheet, you'll see change order number 1.
Got it.
And change order number 1 equals the number of all the yellows,
It's magic.
okay? Change order number 2 is brown. So, you'll see some are starting to be colored brown, so, that's how we coordinate it. So, we actually do it for ourselves as well as make it easy for you to understand, because as we're getting towards the end of the job, we wanna make sure they're all closed out. And if it's white, we know it's not been closed out, or it needs attention, or it needs to be, properly disposed of as a no. So we wanna make sure there's no dangling participles with the project when we're done. Other than that, we don't have any major claims. Everything is going swimmingly. There's nothing really, I keep coming to these meetings and giving you good news. I'm sorry. I don't have anything worthwhile for you guys to debate and argue over, but it's just going well.
We love good news, Dan. We're that kind of group, yeah.
So, no, it is literally going, about as good as possibly can in an economy with supply chain issues and everything else, so.
So did you guys complete the rear retaining wall at this point? Is that done?
So there's a few rear retaining walls. There's,
Okay, looks
so
like
let's, another great question, the 3, right, 3 sections. So, we started removing the one that you voted on
Right.
as an ad, but there were some that were in the contract. One of the ones in the contract, I think it's behind children's, is up to height. I think they have another
Yeah.
capstone.
The rear part.
At the
There's
rear-
also
at the
one
rear.
around the patio, which is.
Right,
they haven't-
well, we're not even close to bringing the children's patio up yet. Like, that was an email I got from an unknown board member who happened to not be in state for 3 months. I got an email saying, the children's patio is missing. Well, we haven't got to it, so, but when
Somebody
we
stole it, Ed.
So we are getting to it, it's there, it's just not built yet. We take things up in small lifts, it doesn't all go, we don't dump all the dirt in at once. It goes in, it gets compacted, it gets tested for compaction, and it goes up again, so that we don't have sediment. So, it'll take a while before you can walk out the children's back area and walk onto the patio, it'll be a while. But the next really fun thing that you're gonna see is all the staging will start going up probably next week, I'm guessing, along the bank side. So, the post office side, thank you. you know, it's gonna be traditional staging, it's not gonna be mechanical lifts, so you'll see all those X's in the pipe staging all run down that. They'll do a section at a time and work their way down, and they'll bring the brick up to a control joint, and then they'll stop, they'll go over to the next control joint, go up, brick it up, stop, and keep moving until they wrap around the corner. And as Phil said, you know, we consciously have framed and sheathed that side of the building first, because that side has the most work. The panels are a lot easier to do than the masonry. Masonry's a lot of work, there's a lot of detail there, you know, but it is pretty neat when you're walking on Main Street or Federal Street or any of the streets, and you look at the building, you get a completely different view. When you're at the post office and you look, you can actually see a little bump out for the window seat. Oh, I'm excited, the window seat. Right, I just, you know, every time I see the window seat, I say, yeah, that's your window seat. It costs us.
But you know, it
Yeah.
breaks up that long,
Yeah, it
length
does.
of wall. It
That's
really,
fun. It should.
aesthetically, it really helps that length of wall.
Yes, see?
Wipe that look off your face.
Even though it's little.
It is going to be awesome.
It's a wonderful nook.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome,
And the team
so,
will
but you can start to, you
Yeah.
are starting
Oh,
to
yeah,
feel the building.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you remember, you know, 3 or 4 months ago when I showed you the foundation of the piers, you know, those piers became columns, and then the
Yeah,
columns
yeah.
got wrapped in steel, and now they're wrapped in purple. And, you know, as Phil said, they'll be wrapped in, a vapor barrier and, insulation. I mean, there's a ton of insulation going on this building, so, the pictures I asked you all to look at, if you looked at the roof, if you, I did,
Stuff, yeah.
if you look at the, you know, that's all insulation, all those boxes of insulation going on the roof.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, the reason you don't see a lot of work on the exterior of the building, I know it looks like a lot, but in our world, it could actually go faster. It's because they're working on the monitors, and the monitors are really time consuming. Each stud's a different height, they can't, you know, throw them all up at once, they're all different heights because of the angles. There's a lot of detail work that has to be done to get all the blocking in so that the roof has, the rubber, the PVC roof has something to nail to. So there's a lot of work going on the roof right now. It won't be long before they're putting the roof on either. It's probably next week or the week after. And once we have the roof on and the sides of the building sheathed, they'll probably put plastic in the windows if they don't have the frames in, so they can start running electric. We're not allowed to run electrical in a building that's open. That's a code issue. You can't let water in the conduits.
Right.
So, all the other trades are running hog wild in there. And, you know, the duct supplier's been dropping off duct work, and all the ducts are covered in plastic, so dust can't get in the ducts. And they go up with the plastic on, and they take the plastic off, and they keep the end plastic on, so that whole ventilation system stays dust-free all the way to the end. And we're still gonna run it for, I think it's a week for lead, we run the HVAC system with nobody in the building, to get what minor amounts got into the system. So there's a lot of fun things going on, with regard to the building. With regard to the site, it's a tight site, there's a lot of work going on in the site. If you look on that picture, that's the wall.
Yeah.
Someone asked about that first wall, it's right there. So the first wall is going in. So, going good, don't jinx us, and I was hoping to have a site meeting on site this week. I was gonna walk you through the building, but the stairs didn't come in time. And I don't wanna take you in the building till we have stairs, because I'd like you to walk upstairs and see.
Yeah.
The view is unbelievable, plus the view from
I don't wanna go on
downstairs.
ladders anyway.
From downstairs, looking up through the hole in the floor where the ornamental stair going upstairs, it's just a wonderful space. The light coming in from the monitors, you know, you can tell it's gonna be majestic. It's just gonna be a beautiful space.
Can you talk a little bit about the picture with the retaining wall there?
Yeah, which one?
There's only one it was focusing
What, that one there?
on the wall. Tell us about that.
Phil was hungry for lunch and decided to eat the wall. That's the retaining wall we asked you to take down.
Right, okay.
and replace. And I wanted you to know it's got started, and I wanted you to know that there's no reinforcing in it. It's just stone, mortar, and concrete.
Wow.
And it's quite a beefy little wall.
It's like 18 inches wide.
It's 18 inches at the base, but it looks like it was originally a stone wall that they poured a little, like a veneer over the top of it.
Really?
So,
Interesting.
it's kinda neat, so that was just kinda like a little, a bonus nugget of what's going on. We got a lot of work to get that wall back in and back up. They'll be hammering probably most of that out.
So a new wall will go there, not they rebuilt one of those.
No, we're putting in a new wall out of the same material that this wall is built out of. If you drive into the rear of the apartment area,
Yeah.
apartments here, you'll see this wall is already in.
Yeah.
It's identical to this wall, but a little bit taller on this side.
They're large rectangular stones, Mayor,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they're concrete and they've got kind of a rustic finish, to them, so they're kind of like stone.
It's a really good view from the Haven building.
Yeah, well, that's what I haven't done yet.
Yeah, you gotta drive, every day I drive.
And that's it. Any questions?
Of course. The utility mitigation that we talked about last month, where are we on that? Is everything settled?
Not, utility mitigation with regard to the electric is not settled. We're still working with engineering to finalize the final route of connecting. The existing easement that exists was recorded in 1908 or 10 when it was DC voltage, and the descriptions aren't right. We're working on upgrading all of the easements so they're proper and true. And we hopefully will get that done in a month. And once that's done, they'll send us an estimate of what we owe. We'll owe, because there's wires that they have to pull from our property to the manhole where the power's coming out.
Those charges are in the budget, right?
Yeah, we have, it's in the budget. We don't have any mitigation for gas company. So,
But didn't you go back to them and they said, yes, you were correct, the gas?
yeah, the gas company, we fought the mitigation and we won, so we have a zero mitigation for gas. So,
Great.
all right? Trust me, it's going great.
Despite being so far away for so long, I do get these daily reports that show who's on site on any given day. And it's about 25 different workers working
Oh, yeah.
full-time every single day.
Well, that'll increase to 50. You know, we don't have all the trades in the building
Yeah,
yet.
there's a lot of work still.
You happy?
Questions?
So in the report, the Corinne has up right now, actually, the invoice, towards the end of it, there's mention of they've taken delivery on the electrical boxes, the glass. Is that now all,
So-
they basically transferred ownership to
Correct,
us.
so when we,
So when
so-
we're ready to, when the contractors are ready to go, we have it, it's ready to
so
go.
we'll allow them to, what's called stored material, there's a column for stored material.
Yeah.
We'll allow them to do stored material on-site or off-site. On-site,
Oh, no, not
they
yet.
just put it to the
Right.
side.
Mhm.
Off-site, we require them to give a transfer title and an insurance certificate, so that, you know, if they go bankrupt, we can go
Right.
grab it.
Right.
So, that's a common practice. During this period with supply chain issues, we're encouraging all of our vendors to do stored material. We normally wouldn't pay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but it's going to be helpful to this project during this period of economic uncertainty.
Offsite means,
Here's a certificate for the steel
Mhm.
store. Hartford Insurance, they've got,
If they go under, we got another problem.
we got a bigger problem than this project.
Yeah, right, exactly. Mhm.
As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email.
And kudos on the
We
newsletter.
have to vote?
They're great.
Did you like the
Oh,
newsletter? I didn't wanna mention to the mayor, if she read the newsletter,
Yeah.
she would've known what the purple material
I
was,
know.
cause it's in the newsletter.
She's probably got a few
I looked at the
things on her plate.
pictures.
So we still have, approval of the bills, and it's for, I'm still not getting to not wearing glasses all the time.
I'll read it.
$932,593.31.
It's done. Can I double check you, Mr. Chairman?
No, I'm getting.
932-593.31.
So that's kind
Yeah, well, I'm not there yet either.
of, you'll love it. Oh, you'll love it.
So we have the motion for, want to say that one more time?
$932,593.31.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Bills paid. If there's nothing else, anybody know if anything else?
Adjourning.
Good luck.
So she gets to ask all the questions and leave.
Yeah, really.
So a motion to
Good
adjourn, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Did by the chair. All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those pictures, can I look at those pictures?
I will email them to you, Jean. I will email them to Ed and you, and Ed can distribute